Well, these are shows that were produced sort of pre-pandemic, right? So these are shows that we already had in the can. I think for a company like Discovery, one of the things we've done very successfully during the pandemic is created, pandemic programming, quarantine programming. A lot of our talent has stepped up and helped to produce content, from their homes, in their kitchens, in their gardens. And so, as a company, we've been very fortunate in that regard, and we've been able to continue to produce hundreds of hours of original hours during the quarantine. And I think that's given us a bit of a competitive advantage. A lot of our peers have been reliant on repeats and just going back into their archives and and scheduling library shows where we've obviously tapped into our library, but during Prime and we've certainly been able to program a lot of original hours this year as well, which is good for my group because this is content that once it airs on our networks, we'll be out in the market selling as originals, and offering to the marketplace, this time next year. So we haven't really lost anything in the way of production pipeline. So that's been really helpful for us. Deals. The other good thing about formats is once they're produced, those local versions, as an example, for instance, I'm not suggesting that we've closed a deal in China, for instance. I mean, we but should we close a deal in Japan, let's say, for Celebrity IOU, my team will then be able to distribute Celebrity IOU Japan elsewhere around the world. So the beautiful thing about these formats is we work with localized partners, but then my team gets feeds the inventory, and we're able to continue to distribute that local version around the world elsewhere outside of the format territory. So that's our expectation, is that as we begin to close these deals, obviously there's an economic component, right? We make money when we sell formats, but we also feed our pipeline of content that we can then go and further sell and monetize elsewhere around the world. So that's really the goal, is on a market by market basis, continue to release formats. Of course, we're also continuing to sell our formats is just one component of the sales strategy. But formats are a great business for us because it's to a large degree it's a paper deal, right? We're not delivering ready-mades, right? We are giving a broadcaster the ability to produce. We offer some consultation, but really the burden is on them to do the heavy lifting. And so that's what the strategy going forward is going to be around formats.